Hello and welcome to Destiny Digits. This is the expression number 22 reading. So if you're watching this, you realize that you have the potential to be a master builder. This is a person who's a top performer, a high achiever, a great leader. 22s just have a force about them. People watch them, people follow them, they wait to see what they're going to create. And these are legacy builders. The first oracle card we have is Leader of Light. Where are you being called to serve and support others? Right? So when we're talking about the energy of a 22, we're talking about someone who, when they're vibrating very low, they are only serving self. But when they are vibrating higher as a top performer, they are serving others. And so Spirit is asking you, when you're stepping into your highest energy and you're thinking about others, where do you feel called to serve? Where do you feel called to help? There is a light within you, and others need that. However you possess it, however you carry it, whatever the gifts that you already know you have spiritually, not that they won't continue to develop and expand, but whatever you know you have, whatever your sweet spot is for serving and helping, how can you partner that desire to help and serve with the gift that you already have within you? How can you take your light to that space that you want to serve? I'm sorry, this is alrighty. Now the number on the card is 36. 3 is about creativity and expression. 6 about nurturing and protection. Together they equal 9. And so this is through nurturing whatever your creative gifts are that you will step into this energy of selflessness and you will become this giver. Okay? As you fulfill this leader of light. Next card. When peace is your priority, negativity cannot exist. How can you see through the eyes of source energy and prioritize your inner peace? So I feel like this is just saying, life is a collection of small moments. But sometimes those moments can feel so massive. And we can focus on them so much that we rob ourselves of the bigger moment, which is the fact that we are actually alive and living in this existence, right? And so we always need to be at peace so we never forget the bigger moment. And so Spirit is just saying, make peace your priority so that you can always see things from a higher view. We have the collective field is impacting you, unseen forces in action. How can you relinquish control of the situation that feels blocked? So we can see this two ways. Your energy, you could feel stunted or blocked. You could feel like just kind of like in this no man's land. That could be your personal energy. But there could also be a situation that you want to see advance and it's not. And it's kind of robbing you of your peace a little bit. And Spirit is just saying, how can you release your control and kind of surrender to the situation as it unfolds? How can you still be in a place of peace and calm as the dust settles, right? And then lastly, you can make it through. Your higher self is always guiding you. What wisdom does your higher self have for you? So whatever you're pushing through, this block, this energy, whether it's happening within you or around you that kind of has you at a standstill, whatever that is, you will push through it. But as you push through it, it's important to keep yourself as close to center as possible, right? Bottom, Midas touch. Things are working out in your favor. In what ways are you abundant right now? So that is a beautiful card. This is nothing less than abundance, right? Whatever it is you want, whatever it is you're creating, is literally going to happen. Now, are you surprised as a 22? You shouldn't be energetically. That is what you have come to this life to do. But even if you haven't created your biggest thing yet, even if you haven't gotten to the big shebang, just really reflect for a few and think about what you've done so far, right? If you look at your life, what are all the ways in which you are abundant? Where do you have excess? Where can you find joy? So Spirit is asking you to always look at what you have as you continue to build and create. Just use that as a springboard. That's a beautiful energy to move forward and build more abundance off of. Next to leader of light, we have imagination. So this is where we were talking about serving others and thinking about what our heart is calling us to do when we think about, giving of ourself and supporting another. Spirit is saying, I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. So it will be through you tapping into your own creativity that you step into this role of selflessness as this leader of light. When peace is your priority, negativity cannot exist. So we talked about no matter what's happening around us, to protect our peace and to make sure that it is primary. So Spirit is saying in these aspects, when it feels like your peace is being threatened, your environment, the people, places, and things around you are kind of chaotic and, kind of knocking you off of your center, realize that whatever you set your mind to, you can do. So one, you can persevere through anything, but even when it looks like total chaos surrounding you, that is not a reflection of where you will end up. So when we talked about the energy in the collective field that could be impacted of you, like maybe inside of you, you feel blocked or stuck, or there's a situation that is not unfolding just quite yet that you would like, that seems to be blocked or whatever, and Spirit confirmed that you are going to make it through. Tap into your wisdom. What is your higher self trying to teach you in this situation, in this moment of standstill? But nonetheless, Spirit gives us the card freedom. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. And so realize that a blocked energy, either within us or around us, it is an obstacle. It is a challenge, but it's not something that we can't overcome. So Spirit is saying that you will have to push through this. You can do it, but this energy requires action. At the bottom of the deck, we have courage. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. So when we're talking about the Midas touch and things working out in your favor, it is because you faced your fears. It's because you stepped into courage. So whatever this is that you're creating or doing and imagining and pushing through, it's here. You're doing it. You are absolutely doing it. First card, Knight of Cups, Six of Cups, Six of Swords. Alrighty. All right. So the Knight of Cups is a pursuit of love, a pursuit of the heart. So when Spirit is asking you about what you're being called to do, as if you were to step into this Knight of Cups energy, wherever this Knight of Cups is heading to, it's because they realize they've been called to do it. They are responding to a call. They are accepting a mission, right? So there is something that is calling you. There's something that you need to tap into. Now, this could be something that's connected to your childhood, something that's connected to your past life, or something that's connected to something from your past. But nonetheless, the Six of Cups talks about revisiting an old energy, right? An energy that has something to do with love or innocence. And so sometimes we think about, the thing as a child, what were some of the things that we wanted to do, we dreamed of doing, we imagined ourselves to do? Those are the kinds of energies that you're going to have to tap into when we step into our imagination and really attempt to unlock our heart. Now, we also have the energy of Six of Swords. So this is, moving from choppy, rough waters to calm waters. But this is also a mental thing. And so in order to use your imagination and to embrace and nourish the creative aspects of your mind, you may have to move away from spaces, places, people, and things that are blocking the creativity within you, right? So sometimes I'll say this with the Six of Cups. Sometimes you have to go back in order to go forward. So the Six of Cups could talk about revisiting. We talked about past life energy, we talked about childhood energy, or just a moment in our life where we wanted to do something, but maybe we dropped the urge. So now we have an opportunity to pursue it, but we must clear our mind and our space. We must prepare our environment for what it is we are about to create. And so the Six of Swords is vital. In the center, we have the Four of Cups, and that's the energy of just being over it, right? So people, places, and things. That's the only thing we're ever really connected to. Everything is one of those things. People, place, or thing. So Four of Cups is just saying that I invested my heart, my emotions into something that I thought would fill my cup. My cups are empty in front of me. So what I thought would fulfill me didn't fulfill me, but it potentially depleted me. Right. And so this is where spirit is communicating to us about our peace. So before we get to this energy of being over it, we have the energy of the Eight of Swords. And this is like, imprisoning ourselves, trapping ourselves, not understanding our own strength, not understanding the power that we have or the role that we play in a situation. Right? So when we are in situations that are taking from us, and maybe these three cups represent our peace of mind, maybe they represent our love, our understanding, our compassion, our sensitivity, whatever it is that is being taken from us is a part of an experience. So one, we have to see it from a higher light. We have to kind of ascend above it and realize this is happening for my growth, right? But we also have to understand that we have a role to play. But if we are in this Eight of Swords where we're trapped in our mind because we don't have peace, our mind is all over, we don't know how strong we are, we don't know where to decide, what to go, what to do, we are standing in our own emotion and we're unable to get to a place of clarity, right? And so sometimes being that energy causes you to walk into situations that just continue that, right? And so everything just feels like it's on E. Everything feels empty. Everything feels dry. Nothing feels abundant, right? So the beautiful thing about this is we have the Death card. So this is where perseverance comes in. The Eight of Swords of energy, not knowing our strength, not applying our strength. The Four of Cups, not being content with investments that we have poured our heart into. We have death. So this is ending. And I feel like this is about ending an energetic aspect of us. And this is about us ending the part of us that didn't step into our power. And now, after this death, now we step into this perseverance. And it's when we step into our power, it's when we understand that if I can believe it, I can get to it, that we move into the art of actually using our imagination. Now, prior to getting here, prior to getting to the energy of the Four of Cups, we were at the Magician. And that's because you realize at some point that you really can create and manifest the life you desire. You have everything you deserve. You have everything, not that you deserve, but you have everything that is required for you to pursue what it is you want to create in your life. So when Spirit is talking about, this King of Swords energy here, so sometimes the King of Swords can kind of seem like, a hard ass, somebody that's harsh, but they're very logical and rational, and they can see through BS. They don't mind calling it as it is. And so this is a person that you can trust to say what it is that they see, and they're not being hurtful even if it stings. It's because truth and clarity and integrity is very important to them. That is an energy that you may have to step through as you're working through this blocked energy. You may have to be King of Swords and kind of take your emotion out of it so that you don't kind of suck yourself dry, right? And so when Spirit is saying, how can you relinquish control from situations that make you feel blocked? And I think it's by having no expectations. I think it's by releasing the need for things to go a certain way, feel a certain way, look a certain way. You are getting to the freedom and the happiness that you want in your life. But when you're going through that growth phase, it's not always pretty. It's definitely not comfortable. But you need to realize that you are getting there, right? And so if that means that you have to free your mind from what it what you believed or perceived this should feel like, you may have to cut out things that are blocking you from seeing this journey for what it truly is. This freedom is going to give you the Nine of Cups. That is exactly what you want. That's exactly what's here. It's coming in right after you have stepped into this magician energy where you've taken control for what your life looks like, right? And so this happiness is here, this self-love, this fulfillment, this being all that you need, and doing it and having it alone, not being codependent. This is, being independent and self-sufficient. You've filled all your cups to the point that now you can offer them to someone else. And it took a lot to get here, right? And it took something to end in order for this Nine of Cups to even become a part of your story, right? But it's this ending that steps you into the Nine of Cups, and it's this ending that moves you into the Six of Swords, where you're moving to places of calm and peace, where you can have the clarity, right? This is where you can start to build your confidence. You can start to build your inner strength. You can face your fears. Whatever fears you have about your potential, your power, your ability to create. This is the time where you are about to conquer them, because the spirit says you have the Midas touch. Things are working out in your favor. Don't pay attention to what it looks like or feels like at all times, right? Look for all the abundance that is currently present in your life and be grateful for that, because gratitude is a magnet for more. So really be gracious for all the abundance you find, and realize more is on its way as a result of your courage. Continue to imagine and to create the mental images and movies and pictures in your mind, and then go out and get them. Sometimes persevering looks like endings. Sometimes it looks like death so that something else can be born. But nonetheless, it looks like you realizing you have power. But to use that power, you've got to be grounded in a place of peace. Nothing should unsettle you to the point that you can't create, you can't imagine, right? So continue to be in your courage, continue to move past the blocks, whatever it is that you feel like is kind of stopping you from getting to the freedom that you desire. There is divine timing. Continue to work on self, right? And to kind of release the expectations of what things should be like. It's all coming. This is a very beautiful, inspiring reading. Thank you so much, 22s. I'm hoping something in here was beneficial for you. Take care. Bye-bye.